We got a few different stories for this segment, but the most important breaking news. The White House is calling a social media summit. Move comes as Facebook and Google are under attack in Washington. Trump claims sites are biased against him. He would be correct for the most part. And I want to stress, for those that didn't see my earlier video, the point I want to make sure is very clear. There are employees at many of these companies that lean left for the most part, right? There's obviously conservatives who are for these companies. There's lawsuits about this. They don't realize they're biased for the most part. Some of them do. Some of them are overt. But some people think they're being moderate by banning conservatives because they think the far left is the center. So let's not take them at their word. Actions speak louder than words, and let's look at the evidence. An email leaked from Veritas, statements from employees, and a whistleblower from in the company make it clear as day. Certain functions, mechanics within the company, Google, Facebook, or otherwise, are biased against conservatives, period. Well, following this, there will be a White House social media summit on July 11th, aiming to have a robust conversation about online platforms at a time when they are under increasing attack. Now, here's what we're going to do. For those that have been following, it was recently made clear that my videos no longer get the same kind of recommendations they used to. It's a complicated problem, but suffice it to say, new subscribers are going to see my videos less when watching content on YouTube. You know what? Fine. YouTube doesn't have to recommend my videos this way. They still do recommend my content, but in other ways. So you know what? Go to timcast.com/donate if you want to support my work. Monthly donation option, crypto, physical address, many options. Most importantly, if you like this video and feel like I do a good job, please consider sharing it because I'm now going to rely on you and not YouTube to do the promotion. If that works for you, if not, then so be it. I don't deserve the views anyway. I'm going to keep doing my thing, and let's start by reading the story and a couple other funny political stories and some other big news, too. I'll just give you a heads up. Trump bought the YouTube masthead for tonight's debate. This is huge. We'll get to that in a second, though. White House confirmation of the summit came after President Trump dialed up his criticism of tech companies on Wednesday morning. He said in an interview on Fox Business Network that online giants such as Google and Facebook are trying to rig the election, while Twitter Inc. is making it harder for users to follow him. The administration move appears to suggest the White House and its Republican allies will make alleged anti-conservative bias a major issue heading into the 2020 election as they did in 2018. Please, I appreciate it, Wall Street Journal. I think you do a good job. But alleged bias? You've got employees saying this. There is a video from last September of Google co-founder saying, I am offended by this election. That's not alleged anti-conservative bias. That's literal video evidence of them being biased against conservatives. If you want to talk specifically about alleged policy bias and argue that their actions, their personal feelings don't impact their policy, okay, you can make the argument. I still don't believe it. But we're not talking about an alleged anti-conservative bias. We're talking about employees straight up, over and over and over again, saying this. It is not alleged anymore. It is a fact, period. Saying that there's a bias issue in 2020, right? The online companies have denied accusations that they try to suppress conservative speech, but conservatives continue to raise concerns about the big platform's ability to influence how content is consumed on the internet. They make it much harder for me to get out the message, Trump told Fox Business. These people are all Democrats. It's totally biased towards Democrats. Big tech companies are also under growing pressure in Washington over concerns about their size and reach. The Justice Department and Federal Trade Commission recently took steps that set the stage for possible antitrust investigations of some major tech businesses, including Alphabet Inc. unit, Google, and Facebook. A White House spokesman said Wednesday that the July 11th event will bring together digital leaders for a robust conversation on the opportunities and challenges of today's online environment. Good first step. Glad to see something is happening. Will it solve any problems? I really don't know. Obviously, Trump is aware of this. He's mentioned it. Trump Jr. has tweeted about it. The story is huge. And it's being still, even though it's getting mentions now because of Trump, it's still being it's being omitted, right? The media is not getting into the nitty gritty on what's happening here with this bias. Left-wing outlets have confirmed this. Yet I guess they're mad the cat's out of the bag. Gizmodo, it's my understanding, broke the story about Facebook getting rid of conservative news. And The Verge covered Sergey Brin saying the election offended him and that Trump voters don't hold his values. That's bias, period. Okay, can we move on from here? I've got two funny social media stories. This one is huge. We're doing a social media segment here. Acronym tweeted, huge. Ahead of the Democratic debate tonight, real Donald Trump purchased the YouTube masthead, one of the most expensive digital ad buys on the market. More people will see this ad placement than will catch tonight's debate. Trump is a madman. Maybe not him, but his people know the game. So I'm surprised they haven't taken action on social media censorship earlier. His team knows full well. YouTube.com masthead. This is ridiculous. Listen, Google is one thing. You go to Google, there's no ads. You type in a search, you get ads related to that search. You go to YouTube.com, and the first two videos you see are Donald Trump's re-election campaign. So they're not ignorant to how social media is used to effectively prop up their campaign. This is an amazing example, in my opinion, of Trump and his campaign having real internet savvy. Here's the thing. Conservatives understand memes. Period. Some of the best memes have been generated by the Donald subreddit. That's a fact. There was the most prolific memes were being generated by 4chan and the Donald. That's how it's always been. These are meme smiths. In fact, one of the greatest meme smiths today is Carpe Donktum. I'm not saying you have to like his memes. I'm saying they are far and wide shared by the president, some of the most popular memes ever made. They're funny little snippet videos that convey ideas, and conservatives get this. The left can't meme. They really can't. And this presents a huge disadvantage for Democrats going into 2020 and for 2016 as well. So long as you have the fun, counterculture, comedy, humor, etc. on the right, the left won't hack it. There are some personalities on the left that I think do a great job. I think H. Bomber Guy is pretty funny, and I think ContraPoints is pretty funny. They're not meant to be funny. They have funny moments, and I like their content, so I can respect that too. And that is a powerful tool for spreading their message. Fun. Seriously, if you're not having fun, nobody wants to hang out with you. So this is a good example. The Mass has a really great example of just, once again, conservatives understanding the savvy of the internet. They need to get on top of the bias, otherwise they're doomed. But now for the inverse. Quite possibly the most insane thing I've ever seen attempted, and this shows the left can't meme. Kind of. Bill de Blasio tweeted, "Lucky to have the talented debater Dante de Blasio helping me to get ready for Wednesday." And what do we have here? Why, it's a series of messages shared between Bill de Blasio and his son Dante, and I swear to God, it was written by one person, a 22-year-old intern, who doesn't know how humans interact with each other. This is the problem the left has with winning elections right now. So let's read a little bit of this. I don't want to read it. The whole thing's nonsense. Dante, this is from Bill. Dante, the debate's coming up. I'm preparing intensely, but I must admit I'm a little nervous. What advice would you have for me? ? Thanks. Love you, Dad. Hey, Dad, I'm glad you asked. I've got a few ideas. First of all, you're going to want to establish credibility, especially among skeptical young voters. Tell them the story of how you met Mom while working as a young staffer at City Hall and weave it into a reflection about how hard it is to find the one on Tinder. Find the one, okay, Ocasio-Cortez. Okay, but I'm looking for maybe a little more universal message. Ah, okay. Well, in a time of unprecedented national division, one thing we can all agree on are dogs. You're going to want to build your platform and debate performance around them. Bring photos, better yet, bring a litter of puppies to the debate stage. Have them smother your foes. It'll be adorbs. Adorbs. I always text my dad, that's totes adorbs. You know what I mean? I would be willing to bet a substantial amount of money this script was written by a woman. And I'm not saying that to be a dick or disparage women. I'm saying that I really don't see a dude saying adorbs. Maybe I'm wrong. It's going to be really funny when it turns out it's true. They really did write this and they're just weirdos. That is definitely a creative approach. But how about something that allows me to stand out by talking about my accomplishments? I need to impress the American people by showing them I'm a can-do guy. Oh, okay. In that case, tell people that NYC was just Staten Island when you started your first term. Well, why don't we... there's another message. He said, wait, hold on. He says, why don't we focus on technique instead? You were a champion debater. Tell me how I can really make my presence felt on the stage. Okay, I hear you. This one's a sure thing. Dunk. I'm thinking you enter the stage at a jog and do a Zion leap over the moderator to the rim. Total power move. Relatedly, it would be great if you could clarify some of these NBA trade rumors because I, for one, am confused. Well, that certainly would get attention. Let me think about it. Of course, just make sure you don't overthink it. Make sure your message is straightforward. Talk about your accomplishments and treat your opponents with respect. You'll do great. Thanks, coach. Love you. No problem. Love you. First point I want to make about how insane this is, punctuation. Perfect. Nobody uses punctuation when they're texting each other. This is a lie. It's a fraud, I say. Bill de Blasio, you do not understand social media or memes, and this reads like a terrible script written in 10 minutes, not by you. Like, first of all, where's any of the common shorthand? And why would they be texting themselves this anyway? Wouldn't it just be like, Dante, do you have a minute to talk about the debate? Could use your advice. Then, phone call. End. Good luck, Dad. Wishing you the best. Who talks to their... I'll say this. If this is real, the de Blasios are weird Stepford wives-like people that are... They're robots. Okay? I think you get it. The point is, Trump knows the game. The left doesn't. The left is losing on social media, so they ban people. There's a siren outside right now, so I'll end it here. Stick around, more segments to come, and I will see you shortly.